Hello friends, welcome to Papaya Coders. In this video, we will be learning about how we can provide the permission from gallery to import images and videos in our application. In this video, we will be learning how to import a single image from gallery, and there is a sequel part of this video. In that video, we will be learning about how we can upload more than one images from gallery at a time. We have used this functionality several times in our daily basis application such as Instagram, X, Facebook, and many other applications. So let's try to understand the logic behind it and let's get started. So here is our demo app. As it says, we need SS2 gallery to let you pick the images. So right now we haven't provided any kind of access. Let's say grant the permission and I say allow all. So I have provided the permission now. Now let's select the image from the gallery. Here is a demo image. So this image is being displayed over here. Now you might be wondering where we have use of this functionality. So let me tell you that most of the social media apps and chatting apps use this functionality to access your gallery. For example, when you try to share something from WhatsApp, then you have already provided the permissions to WhatsApp to access your video and images from the gallery. And similarly for Instagram also, when you try to make a post, you have already provided it permissions for image and video. That's why you don't see any permission granter every time you launches it, since you have provided the permission once. Let me show you once more. If I try to open this app again, the permission will not be asked again since I have already provided it once. Okay, so this was our demo app and I have told you the use case. So let's get started. Just come over here, make a new Kotlin composable file. That should be an empty composable file, and we have to add some of the dependencies over here. So let's add the dependencies first. So dependencies are this: coil for image loading and permission dependencies. Let's just copy them from here and come over the Gradle file in application module. Let's paste it over here, and then we need to paste this version also. Let's come over here. We need this one. Let's paste it over here, and we need one more that was for coil. So here is it for coil compose. Copy this and paste this over here. You can just copy these dependencies or you can easily get them from any AI or Google. You have need to just Google the dependencies for permission and Google and this coil compose. Okay, so let's get their version. Okay, where are the versions? Let me see. Yeah, here is one, and coil is using 2.5.0. Let's provide the permission versions here. Okay, some more things we need to do is to update this boom to this. Let the Kotlin be version 9, and here we see no error is there, and change this compile SDK to 35. Let's sync the project, then we will be good to go. Give the Gradle some time, let it sync. Till then, we can come over here in the UI portion and just make a new file over here. Let's say it will be inside UI. Let's say it will be screens. So this will basically contain the screen for our application. So we are going to design our UI over here. Since it's the UI, we will be using the composable annotation. Let's say composable. Now let's create a function. The function will be image picker screen. Okay. Now the first thing we need to have is a variable that will be helping us to select the URI of the image and remember its state. So let's name it select image URI. by remember. So what does this basically says? So it says that remember the state of the image, and whenever the state of this image is being changed, so inform the Jetpack, yeah, that state has been changed. You need to update the UI. So this remember thing does this part, that if the state is changed, it informs the Jetpack that yeah, state has been changed. Please update the UI. So let's have a mutable state of URI, and if we have a URI, then we will be showing that URI or loading that URI. If no URI is available to us, then simply only null will be shown as the URI, so no image will be showed. Okay. Okay, we need to add now one more thing, which is permissions in our manifest file. Let's come over here and get the permissions. The permissions are basically these two permissions. One is for Android 12 and one is for Android 13 and above that. So let's just simply provide these permissions over here, and let's come back to our main activity. Sorry, screens. So now we'll be having a variable that will be providing us storage permissions. The first thing which we saw in our app was that storage part, that where it's all asking us the permission. So whether need to grant the permission or not. So let's create a variable storage permissions. Storage permissions state, let's say it's giving the right suggestion to us. So remember the permission state. If the permission is equal to manifest dot read external storage, no, we will not be using this permission. Permissions dot read media images. Okay, great. So we can see an error over here. It says, let's import this function. Let's import the manifest. To import any functionality, just press Alt and enter. So that thing will be imported over here. Okay. I think so. I imported the wrong manifest. Okay, let's just wait. Let's see. We need to add an experimental API permission. So we have added it over here. Instead of adding it over here, let's say, let's close this over here. And let's add the permission over here. That will be good to go, I think so. So it says, still says unresolved reference. The code is correct. I think so. There is some import error, I guess. Or the permission should be equal to manifest. Let's say read the media images. Okay, this up to here we should have no issues. But from here we are seeing a sort of error in the manifest. Let's import this class manifest. Okay, I think so. There is some error in the import part. It should be just, let's remove this import and have an import Android manifest. Okay, this should work. Yeah, here it's fine. So we have a storage permission state which says that remember the permission state, that what is the permission which is being provided by the user. We need to see that what is the option selected by the user, that where here we have to select, like we used to select that, yeah, the permission is provided or permission is denied. Okay, so that's what we need to manage. Now the main activity. Let's say the main activity is the image picker launcher. That how this image picker launcher is being initialized now. Let's learn that logic. Let's have a variable image picker. You see this part? Pick the image. This is image picker launcher. We'll be working on this now. Let name is at image picker launcher and similarly say it as remember launcher for activity results. And here we'll be having a contract, that activity result dot contract dot get content, and on result let's simplify this code. This auto result giver is not always correct. Let's say that the contact is equal to activity result contracts dot get the content, then just simply let's import this thing. Let's import this also. Okay, let's import this file. Now here we will be working. We need URI. Basically this activity result contracts dot get contract, this part tells the Android that I want to get a resource from another application. Okay, in this case we are having the another resource as the image, then we are getting that resource image from another application which is gallery. Okay, so this thing tells the Android that I want to get the resource from another application, another app. Okay, so let's set the URI to let's select the selected URI to URI. Now we have assigned our URI to the URI which is selected by us. So let's see the error now. Here are some errors. I think so. It should not be inside here. This should be activity closed. It should be closed over here only. No, not here. Right here. Okay. So this error is also resolved. Now we need to define the UI for first time. We need a column. And inside this column let's have some modifiers. Modifiers help to modify the attributes of the column or a row. Let's say we need to have the modifier dot fill max size. Yeah, that is essential. So I need to have the fill maximum size. Let's import this modifier. Let's compose this. Let's use this compose one and then fill maximum size. Import this also. Arrangement centers and horizontal arrangement should be arranged center horizontally. Okay, so this much modifiers are enough. Now we need to work on that how the image is going to be displayed. Okay, so we have something where we can display the image. Now we need to show make the logic that how the display will be imaged. This image will be displayed. So for that we'll be using the coil library which we have imported while the dependencies sync. I hope so you remember. So let's just come over here and say selected image URI, enclose it with the safe call dot let. It's kind of safe call that yeah, if the URI is available then load it, else just display null. No image should be loaded. Okay. So when the URI is available, let's say to have an image view. In XML we used to say it an image view. here we say is as image or bitmap. So painter is used to display the image here. Okay, in compose we use painter to display the image. In that we use to XML we use src. So remember async image painter. So this is basically a inbuilt function which is provided by the coil library. So we are using it over here and passing the URI which we got from here, and this URI will be equal to the selected image URI. So whatever the image is selected, that its image URI will be transferred to this variable, and we are using it over here and passing it to load the image, to load it inside the image. I hope so you understand. I have used the fill maximum size to load the image. Instead of fill maximum size, let's say I don't want to cover whole the page. Let's say size, let it be 500 dot density pixels. Import this density pixels, and let's have some padding. That would be 16 density pixels. Let's say I have to use the padding element like in the multiple of 4s, or whenever I use padding I use in the multiple of 4s like 4, 16, 32. So the UI looks a bit clean according to me. So let's have a crop content scale. Let's center crop it. Import this. Now we are good to go. Now the main thing which we are going to work on is when the image is loaded, when the permission is granted, then we need to do what? And when the image is not provided, then we need to do what? So we need to say whenever I have the storage permission and I have the permission, okay, let's remove this dot status dot is granted. So whenever the storage permission status is granted, so the image picker launcher will be launched and it will be taking the image as input. So this image picker launcher variable which we have made just over here, this will be searching for all types of images. So this star means we are searching for all types of images. They can be JPEG, PNG, JPG, or all the types of images. Okay. So we have provided it explicitly that all types of images are allowed. So this will be searching for all the images. Now let's say else part, if the storage permission is in the request, or let's say it should be rational. Let's just remove it from here. Before this, we need to add something more. We need to add a button when the storage permission is granted. Let's remove this if block. We will be using when instead. Okay, let's use when block instead of this if and else block. That would make more sense to us because we have more conditions over here. Okay, so whenever storage permission dot state dot is granted, whenever the permission is granted, I hope so we have a little bit idea about how the when statement works. It's similar to the switch cases in other programming languages like C and C++. We have worked on that. So whenever the state is provided, then we need to do certain tasks. Okay, if the storage permission dot state dot status is should be rational, then we need to do some kind of task again. Let's say it over here. Okay, now then we need to perform some another tasks. Now what if I say if the storage permission is not even provided? So let's say the else block, that if storage permission is not provided, then we need to do something. Let's just remove it from here till now. Okay, so I would say when the storage permission is not provided, let's have a button and it will have an on click event. So it will be requesting the permission, right? When you haven't provided it, so it should request the permission. That's pretty normal. Dot launch the permission request. Okay, great. And let me show a text over here. The text should be request gallery permission. Okay, great. Now import this text one. Make sure that it's this composable. Okay, so we have done this part. Now, this was the condition when the permission is not provided. Now let's get back here in the above part and let's say what will happen when the permission is provided. So if the permission is provided, let's have a button again, and this will be triggering the image picker launcher whenever we perform on click event on this button. So this will trigger the image picker launcher, and this will launch it, and it will look for a specific kind of input which is images. And since there is star over here, so all kind of images can be imported like JPEG, PNG, JPEG, JPG. So all the types of images are allowed here. Okay, so the text should be pick image from gallery. Okay, so it should be E over here, and similar it should be E over here. Now this is well and good. Now what else the condition can be? It says then when the condition shows rational. So basically this image show rational is used. So when the initially user has declined the permission, so it shows a text that why this application needs your storage permissions. Okay, suppose the application asked the permit for your image and videos from the gallery and you denied it. You didn't even know that why it was asking. So basically this rational conditional will be triggered when the user denies initially. Then it will represent a text or something, or it will inform you that why this needed the permission to your camera or so gallery. So we need to display a text over here. Let's display it inside a column. Let's have a column and have its horizontal alignment. Let's center it horizontally. Import is not available. I guess I made a spelling mistake. I don't think so. There is a spelling mistake over here. Let me have a look. Let's say vertical. Okay, I got it. This should be inside the attribute one. Here it should come over here. And yeah, this thing is resolved. Let it be dot vertical arrangement dot arrange, and let's have some space between the buttons and the text which we are going to display to the user, that why this need the user permission. Let's have a space of 8 density pixels. That should be enough. Okay, again just come over here and provide a comma. It should be spaced by. All done. So inside this, let's have a text. Now let's display this text. The text should be that we need the access to your gallery to let you pick images. Okay. Now let's have a plus sign and add one more string. This permission is required to load the images from the gallery. Okay, I think so it's all good. Let's use capital W and capital T over here. We are all good to go. So this will be displayed inside. Now let's modify the button, and the button should display something. So the button should display grant permission. Okay, I think so. This much is well and good. We have a when condition when the status is granted, so it can launch the image launcher variable, and this part does it works, and it is ready to take input as all type of images. This star denotes that, and the button shows pick an image from the gallery. Great. So when the storage permission is rational, means the user have initially declined that he don't know why the user is asking, why the application is asking the permission. So we need to display a text and inform the user that why the permissions are being required. And similarly, if the permission is declined, then we have a condition, we have something to display. Now let's simply call this inside our main function. Let's just remove all this. We don't need none of this, and from here remove this also. We need nothing. Just simply call make composable, and let's say a function main, or we can just directly call it, I guess. Let's try to call it directly image picker screen, and all good. We can call it indirectly too, but it has been called. Now let's try to launch it, and let's see what's the result. At the Gradle sync, it's for the first time. Maybe it will take a quite amount of time. And let's see for any error. I think so. We are booting our app for the very first time. Maybe there are errors in the Gradle file related to versions. I don't think so. Yeah, all the files are correct. The file is being launched. So let's see the emulator. So basically it says requires the gallery permission. Since we have no permission right now, as soon as I tap this function got triggered. Let me show you. This image picker launcher. This image picker launcher is being initialized now as soon as I provided the permission. Now, if I say don't allow, then this function got triggered as I was new user, and I said that it should be rational condition got triggered inside the when statement that I don't know why my application is asking me the permission. So it has informed me that we need to access the gallery to let you pick image. This permission is required to load the image from the gallery. Okay, now I understand that why you are needing the permission. So I say grant the permission and say allow all. Now I need to pick an image from the gallery. Now this will open the launcher activity. Let me show you. This is basically this image picker launcher. This activity got triggered. Now just let's simply select the image, and this image is loaded in 500 by 500 in this 500 density pixels as we have set it over here. The size is 500. Let's say 200. So I think hot reload is on. Let me select it once again. Yeah, the hot reload is on. So this was it, that how to select an image from the gallery and upload it and show it. What was the use case? This was a very simple video, and I have made sure that you have understood all the concept that what is the working behind this. I hope so you like this video. Make sure to subscribe Papaya Coders to see such interesting videos on Android, Jetpack Compose and XML. We will be bringing you the latest content related to Android. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon.